That.
All day I rush around, but I'm still on the ground, on the ground. I'll soon be fluttering if I can find my wings, find my wings. Impatiently, I want to fly today.
Don't we all?
But I hear a gentle voice inside me say that slow and steady steps will be my pace. Slow and steady steps will win this race.
Glad you're here.
It will take some time, but the victory will be mine. Slow and steady, I'm gonna learn to fly. I'm starting to believe I only race with me, only me. I can't
Come on in. I know a lot of people are out having family fun. It's okay. They'll catch it on the replay.
It's for myself. Since my best is all I have, it is enough. I can see a ray of hope. I've got to trust that slow and steady.
Okay. Come on in, everybody. I know there's not many people here, but that's okay because you're here. Let's just enjoy some time together. We got stories to tell and things to discuss about menu planning. But first, let's start out with chapter 31 in the Passion Translation of the of Psalms. How great is your goodness! For the pure and shining one, a song of poetic praise by King David. I trust you, Lord, to be my hiding place. Don't let me down. Don't let my enemies bring me to shame. Come and rescue me, for you are the only God who always does that what is right. You know, my granny always said, if you do what's right, God will take care of you. Rescue me. King David didn't say that. I said that. My granny wasn't a wise woman. Rescue me quickly when I cry out to you. At the sound of my prayer, may your ear be turned to me. Be my strong shelter and hiding place on high. Pull me into victory and breakthrough, for you are my high fortress where I'm kept safe. You are to me a stronghold of salvation. When you deliver me out of this peril, it will bring glory to your name. As you guide me forth, I'll be kept safe from the hidden snares of the enemy. The secret traps that lie before me, for let me go back a second. As you guide me forth, I'll keep you safe from the hidden snares of the enemy. The secret traps that lie before me, for you have become my rock of strength. Into your hands I now entrust my spirit. O Lord, the God of faithfulness, you have rescued and redeemed redeemed me. I despise these deceptive illusions, all this pretense and nonsense, for I worship only you. In mercy, you have been my troubles, and you have cared for me. Even during the crisis in my soul, I will be radiant with joy, filled with praise for your love and mercy. You have kept me from being conquered by my enemy. You broke open the way to bring me to freedom, into beautiful into a beautiful broad place. Oh Lord, help me again. Keep showing me such mercy, for I am in anguish, always in tears, and I am torn with weeping. I'm becoming old because of grief. My health is broken. I'm exhausted. My life is spent with sorrow, my years with sighing and sadness. Because of all of these troubles, I have no more strength. My inner being is so weak and frail. My enemies say, "You are nothing." Even my friends and neighbors hold me in contempt. They dread seeing me. They look the other way when I pass by. I am totally forgotten, buried away like a dead man, discarded with a broken dish, discarded like a broken dish in the trash. I overheard their whisper threats and the slander of my enemies. I'm terrified as they plot and scheme to take my life. I can't see. I'm having trouble. Probably because I teared up a while ago. I'm desperate, Lord. I throw myself upon you, for you alone are my God. My life, my every moment, my destiny, it's all in your hands. So I know you will deliver me from those who persecute me relentlessly. Smile on me, your servant. Let your undying love and glorious grace save me from all this gloom. As I call upon you, let my shame and disgrace be replaced by your favor once again. But let shame and disgrace fall upon the wicked, those going to their own doom, drifting down in silence to the dust of death. At last their lying lips will be muted in their graves, for they are arrogant, filled with contempt and conceit as they speak against the godly. Lord, how wonderful are you! You have stored up so many good things for us, like a treasure chest heaped up with spilling over with blessings, all for those who honor and worship you. Everybody knows that you can do what you can do for those who turn and hide themselves in you. So hide all your beloved ones in the sheltered secret place before your face. Overshadow them with your glory presence. Keep them from the accusations and brutal insults of evil men. Tuck them safely away in the tabernacle where you dwell. The name of the Lord is blessed and lifted high, for his marvelous miracle of mercy protected me when I was overwhelmed by my enemies. I spoke hastily when I said, "The Lord has deserted me." For the truth, you did hear my prayer and you came to rescue me. Listen to me, all you godly ones. Love the Lord with passion. The Lord protects and preserves all those who are loyal to him, but he pays back in full all those who reject him in their pride. So cheer up, take courage, all you who love him. Wait for him to break through for you, all who trust in him. And that was the 31st chapter of Psalms. Now, I told you we were going to talk about some menu planning and preparation, being prepared. Many years ago, some of you probably aren't even old enough to remember the the problem when we went from 1999 to 2000. They called it the Y2K. They had, everybody was preparing for the computers not to work, and computers weren't, they were young items, and we got prepared. Well, I got prepared too. I went to a restaurant supply place over in Hendersonville, and I had a long list of things to buy, and I bought them. And then I came home and I made some bags to put them in, and I put most things in the freezer. I had a big chest type freezer that my friend gave me who moved here. I've mentioned her before. Her nickname was Mad Cow because her initials were MAD, and Robert nicknamed her Mad Cow when we would get an email from her. And she gave me this freezer when she moved to the mountains, and it was a good freezer. It was a big freezer. But I put everything in this freezer, and especially the beans. I got red beans and black beans and pinto beans and rice, and I bagged it all up and I put it all in the freezer. Not that you have to do that with dried stuff, but I wanted to kill off anything that was in there. Well, I didn't put the oats in there, and I got a case of oatmeal. I like oatmeal. If you're hungry, you'll eat oatmeal. I like oatmeal cookies. I like to make apple crisp that uses oatmeal. I mean, with dried apples and oatmeal and some brown sugar, you can do just about anything. And so I had this case of Quaker oats. I mean, it was like 12 canisters, the big ones, that I put on a shelf. They were still in the box. I mean, in the box they came in. They'd never been opened. But all of a sudden, I started noticing that there were these little bitty worms, I mean, larvae, climbing up my bathroom wall. And I'm trying to figure out what in the world, where did these things come from? And Robert called me one day. He said, "Come downstairs and look at this." And there was this nest of spider webs over the shelf that had the oats in it. Come to find out, we had a whole ecosystem going. In the oats were some little bitty midges, little moths type things, and they would fly up and get caught in the spider webs, and the spiders would eat them. But the larvae could eat their way out of the little boxes and out of the box it was in, and they would climb up the wall into my bathroom. So it was funny, and this stuff comes in everything. I don't know why I didn't put the oats in the freezer too when I got them to kill off anything that was in there, because the freezer gets down to 0 and it's left in there at a certain length of time, it'll kill off anything that's in there. Well, I didn't do that. Needless to say, we had to throw all the oats out because they were all contaminated. If you've ever opened a box of oats and you've seen little webs inside, it's because of these little larvae that come in the oats. I guess we're getting a little bit of protein with them. Anyway, so that's what I was talking about this morning when I told you I was going to tell a story about the spiders. The spiders created their own ecosystem, and they were catching the critters. They were coming out of the oatmeal boxes. So be careful what you store. You need to put it into um, heavy duty containers. I got a bunch of, at that time, I went to the hardware store and got some lard cans. There were like 5-gallon lard cans. Now you can get 5-gallon buckets now, they're plastic. But I got 5-gallon lard cans, and I put a lot of stuff in those 5-gallon lard cans. This time I had purchased flour. And I can make tortillas, I can make pasta, I can make biscuits, I can make rolls, I can make all kinds of things. And I'm ready. I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for being stuck at home for 3 weeks without electricity if we run out of generator power. I'm ready. And I've seen it happen in an ice storm where my grandmother was without electricity for 3 weeks. I was so blessed that my cousin could take her to his house and he took care of her. He took care of her. Somebody says I look just like Kathy Bates. Thank you very much. But I'm not Kathy Bates. No, she can play me in my movie. Anyway, um, first time I ever heard that was Justin and I went to a movie called Misery, and I walked out the theater, and somebody said, "You look just like Kathy Bates." Oh, my hair's long, and it's driving me nuts. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about menu planning and being prepared and taking care of things. Yesterday, I watched The Patriot Nurse, and she went to the dollar store to get things. Robert's been gathering up all our little old first aid kits that we have around and getting rid of the things that are expired, and we're good to go. We are good to go. I even have some stuff that can, if you get cut real bad, you put it on the cut and and you pull it together. It makes sutures. So that would be the only problem we would have is if we had a bad cut, stopping the bleeding. And Robert's outside chopping wood and doing stuff like that all the time. So we have a message, I think it's going out tomorrow, but it's all about some tips, some money saving tips for menu planning. And when Justin was little, I went shopping every 2 weeks. I had to go 30 miles out of town to go to a big grocery store. And so one of my main rules was to always have a grocery list and to stick to it. If you just make a grocery list and then you go up and down the aisles buying the same old all the time, that's not good. Never go to the grocery store hungry. Do you hear me? Eat before you go grocery shopping. Eat before you go grocery shopping. It's going to change everything. Do not shop when you're in a hurry. You need to stick to your list and make changes if you need to, if they're out of stuff. But the main thing here is don't get in a hurry. Take your time. Sometimes you may need to go to the grocery store while everybody's gone to bed. Your husband's there at home with the kids. You run to the grocery store at night. It's not as many people there, and you can get a lot of stuff done. Fewer people in the store. And take your time putting away groceries. Always clean out your refrigerator before you go to the grocery store. That way you have a place to put your fresh veggies instead of just cramming them in willy-nilly. Let's see, what else? Another thing, I like to buy in bulk. You buy chicken pieces, but you don't cook all those chicken pieces at one time. Now, I've been subscribed to Moink Box, and they send me a box of meat every 3 weeks. And so I have a good supply of meat that has been vacuum sealed and will keep a while in your freezer. So I also have a vacuum sealer that I can seal up my own meats and things, and it works well. But a Ziploc bag will work too. All you got to do is just get the air out. You just got to get the air out as much. If you have to squeeze it out on a flat surface, it's great. You can do it. And there are YouTube videos on how to vacuum seal things with a sink full of water. I believe it. I've seen it. So look up YouTube. I like freezer paper too. You can buy a roll of freezer paper at the grocery store and you can wrap things in freezer paper. And I love freezer bags, Ziploc bags. It's a brand name, not a type. Um, and masking tape for the freezer. If you're going to use if you're going to use freezer paper, you've got to learn how to fold things in, wrap things over, and roll it around it to keep the freezer from getting to it. And you need a Sharpie for all of it. You need to have a Sharpie so that you can write what's in the package and a date on the package. So going to the grocery store with a purpose. Now, I've also taught you how to brown hamburger meat. Just take your hamburger meat, put it in the crock pot with a little water, and you can throw 2 or 3 onions in with it and stir it every 15 minutes. And in 3 hours, you've got cooked hamburger meat and onions that you can put 2 cups in a Ziploc bag and have pre-cooked hamburger meat for your meals. Now, some of the people I watch on YouTube, they they can their hamburger meat. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I could if I had to, if I didn't have electricity to put it in the freezer, I might do that. But I'm good with. I've got a freezer and it keeps food at a solid 0 degrees. Lisa's in the process of menu planning for my mom. Making her freezer meals is one of her Christmas gifts. How beautiful. You know what I gave for Christmas last year? I gave meat boxes. I gave people food for Christmas. Doesn't get any better than that. I gave my sister, I think it started out at Butcher Box, but I gave her a subscription. So there are some good clutter-free gifts out there. And use your calendar to plan these meals. Yeah, I got a video on how to cook the hamburger meat in the crock pot. I've done it. I do it all the time. Patty says I gave her toilet paper. Yep. She gets a supply of toilet paper every month and she's stocked up. No, we're not hoarding. We're just staying prepared. And she's able to help her family too. If they can't find it, she's got it. So good clutter-free gifts are a powerful tool to get through this winter and all kinds of things like this. Anyway, folks, be prepared. Don't wait. Don't wait. We never know when we're going to get a storm, when we're going to get an ice storm. I mean, there was some snow this week in, I think, Wyoming and Montana. I've seen my first snow here on October 13th. But don't hoard and don't spend like a crazy person. Just a few extra things each week will get you a supply and you can be prepared to feed your family. I have alternative ways of cooking. I have a grill that I can put in my fireplace and I can cook on an open fire because I've done it lots of times. I have a wood stove in the basement that we just got installed I can put a pot of beans on there and let it cook all day. I have a grill in Robert's treehouse that's on propane that I can cook in. Now, when our power is out, I do not have an electric stove. Our microwave can heat some things up, but my stove is not on our power, and I don't have gas for a stove. I do have an electric skillet in the basement that I could plug in to where we make our coffee, And I could cook in that electric skillet. I've made roast, I've made all kinds of things, cooked whole breakfasts in the skillet, and it works. I'm stocked up on laundry detergent, but our washer is not on our grid for our generator. I would have to plug it into a different place. I'd have to use an extension cord, and I got plenty of extension cords. I got enough extension cords to get all the way down my driveway to my my well. So folks, there's no sense in just sticking your head in the sand and not thinking anything's going to happen, because one day something will happen. It will. And you're going to want to be prepared. And being prepared gives you peace like you wouldn't believe it gives you peace. So quit procrastinating and do what you can. I've used Moink and ButcherBox. I have had problems with ButcherBox. I'll be honest. I have had problems with them. And they upset me so bad that I canceled 3 subscriptions to them 2 months ago. Yeah, I did this thing. Somebody's asking a question about angeled eggs. She did her angeled eggs for the first time. All the yellows had a dark color around the outside. What did I do wrong? Well, it's nothing wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Your oven may be just a tad bit hotter than my oven, and I don't put my eggs in there in a hot oven. I don't preheat my oven. So you may have preheated your oven. I just turned my oven on at whatever temperature I've said it is, and because I can't remember, I'd have to look up the recipe or the video of it. And you got to cool them off real quick. So I drop them in ice cold water to stop them from cooking. So they keep cooking once you get them out of the oven. You got it? So cool them off quick and you'll be fine. I've never tried Omaha, but Moink is a bunch of farmers got together and started their own business from farm to table, and I like that. I really like that. And they vacuum seal their meat, and it comes with dry ice, and it's a good deal. It's a good deal. And over the last year, I have gotten stocked up on food for my freezer. Anyway, y'all take care of yourself. Be kind. I love the idea of making freezer meals for your mom. That's just wonderful. You can get a bunch of bento boxes. I thought I had one here handy. I don't know where it went to. The Roomba must have run off with it. But you can get these boxes. Maybe you can on Amazon, and you can make your own freezer meals. Or you can bag things up in Ziploc bags for them and put them all in one bag. And then she can heat everything up, put it on a plate, and be ready to go. So think about giving clutter-free gifts. Clutter-free gifts are the best. I love it. I absolutely love it. Justin and Kathy and Jack and we are all going together and getting a couple of locally produced steers for our freezer. And I think we're gonna get a freezer for the office and put everything. We got a generator at the office too. We're gonna put the meat in the freezer. So, folks, be prepared. Support your local farmers. They work hard. And if you have somebody that produces chickens around you and you get fresh eggs from them, save your egg cartons for them and tip them well, because Fresh eggs are amazing. I mean, my neighbor gave us some a couple of weeks ago, and we absolutely loved them. They didn't last long. Anyway, folks, y'all be good, kind, and sweet. Good to yourself, kind to others, and let the joy that's in your heart show the world that you're a child of God. Tomorrow is Renew Your Spirit Day, so sit down and get into the Word and pray. In fact, that's what we should do right now. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Father in heaven, thank you so much for everything you do for us. Thank you for giving us a brain and common sense. Thank you for giving us strength to get through rainy times and stormy times. Thank you for giving us faith in you and faith in ourselves. Thank you for all of these things, Lord. Thank you for all the blessings that you give our family. Keep us strong. Thank you for the food in our pantries and the clothes in our closets. Let us bless others with our abundance and keep singing your praises, Lord. Thank you for sending your Son to die for our sins on the cross so that we could one day spend an eternity with you in heaven. All these things we ask in your Son's holy name. Amen. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Don't forget about our sale. Save 31. This is 31%. Ends on Monday. Carpet sweepers, feather dusters, calendars, anything that's not already deeply discounted, you can save 31% on. Get it now while you can. Let's do it. I'll see you later.